The 2D graphic design work was developed alongside the 3D design scheme. Working closely with the 3D designer meant graphic work could be considered from the very start of the design process. By doing this, the 2D and 3D design schemes were well thought out and together created a considered and harmonious feel. The advantage of considering graphic work at the beginning of the project was that access issues could be considered from the very outset of the design process, rather than bolted on at a later date. The whole scheme was designed in an accessible way without comprising design. Tests and samples were produced and shown to the Access Manager. The project also included an element especially for families and young audiences. The information was provided to these audiences by the inclusion of specially written family text on the graphic panels and labels. The text for families and young audiences was developed by the interpretation officer to work alongside the main exhibition text and became an integral part of the design. We know from evaluation that 95% of family audiences appreciate having a strong family-led element to help focus and guide them around the exhibition. In this case, a strong orange colour and a graphic illustration of an important historical figure from the exhibition were key indicators used to attract this audience. The 2D design elements were approved by project stakeholders over 3 proof stages. Once approved, finalised artwork was created and sent to graphic contractor for production and then installation into the gallery.
We think very carefully about how to make our exhibitions as accessible as possible for deaf and disabled visitors. I get involved at quite an early stage. I like to build a relationship with the designers and support them to create inclusive designs for visitors with a range of access needs. It's important to work collaboratively and try to focus on the aim of providing a fantastic, accessible visitor experience. We provide guidelines to designers outlining our expectations around elements such as font size, colour contrast, layout, heights of labels and objects, lighting, etc. Often cases or label and panel text will be mocked up so that we can see what key elements will actually look like, which is a really useful process. In this exhibition we discussed colour quite a lot, as orange can be a difficult colour to find the right contrast. Both black and white can be quite difficult to read on orange. Helen had mocked up labels printed in different shades of orange and we viewed them in the space to help check the colour contrast. We also spent some time considering the height of the skull. It's important that objects are placed at a height that wheelchair users, people of small stature and children can fully access them. This was vitally important for the Jericho skull, as we wanted everyone to be able to really look at and connect with the face. For some exhibitions, we provide additional resources and activities to ensure deaf and disabled people have equal access. For example, tactile images, which give blind and partially sighted people an opportunity to get a sense of an object through touch. We're trialling British Sign Language tours led by deaf BSL users. We may provide audio description and live subtitled talks, as well as opportunities to handle objects.
Once we have the build contractor appointed and our on-site phase begins, the running of the project switches to the production team. They take over the management of the site and the contractor, ensuring that they have all their security access and any materials, etc. that they need to begin their work. The on-site installation of a gallery of this size takes just under 4 weeks to complete and is done in roughly 4 stages. The first phase is the deinstall of the existing exhibition. So safely removing the object or objects to begin with, and then removing all built aspects specs that were put in for the previous exhibition and making all the walls and existing gallery floors, etc. good. The build contractor will start on site within the second week of install and begins to erect the built elements of the exhibition. This may be the central dividing wall, the showcase plinths and their hoods, and painting the gallery to the design specified. Jericho in this instance was unique, where we had a division of the internal and external team doing parts of the build. Our in-house technical team have the expertise and knowledge of the showcases that we use in order to build to a perfect fit and specification our showcase surrounds and internals, making it a perfect opportunity for them to do that work while the build contractor focuses on the main build elements in the space. The graphics are produced off-site and delivered to the museum. The graphic designer will assist the contractor in installing all the panels and the in-case labels and any large-scale vinyl that is installed within the gallery. The design will be signed off by our in-house team, our head of exhibitions and our senior designer, and a thorough clean will take place of the gallery before opening to the public.